You don't need one car. You definitely don't need two cars. You need three. Today I'll break down why you need three very different cars in your life: a daily beater, a race car, and yeah, a supercar. Each of these vehicles serves a unique purpose, and we're going to explore what each can teach us about driving, our own desires, and life itself. It's an expensive lesson, but you knew that when you clicked this video. This is going to be philosophy with a gas tank. But before we begin, I'd like to thank our sponsor, which is also my company. So I'd really appreciate it if you check it out. At Revise, we can grow your investment account without the risk of loss, dependably and reliably. Roll your old 401k over tax-free or fund it with cash. Revise's annuities offer inflation protection, ease of management, and best of all, no or low fees. To learn more about annuities and to get a free quote, head over to getrevise.com. Get a free quote. Okay, back to the show. Now I know I said you need three cars, and you're probably wondering what the most important car is. Let's start with the backbone of practicality, the daily beater. In my case, it's the tough as nails pickup truck. Now, why a pickup? It's simple. This is the car you can rely on. Rain or shine, highway miles or rugged trails, moving furniture around or towing trailers. A pickup doesn't blink. When I cut a Christmas tree down a few years ago, guess what I wish I had? Hint, not a freaking Lamborghini. Now, the beauty of a beater like this isn't just in its tough exterior or capability to haul almost anything, but in its ability to free you from worry. Scratch it? No big deal. It's dependable, cost efficient, and without a shadow of a doubt, an absolute must-have for practicality. Feel free to sub the pickup truck with an old SUV. This car isn't trying to get attention, it's just trying to get you there safely. It's about highway miles where you don't feel like you took the SATs afterwards. Driving a beater means you don't have to worry about where you park it or what you put in the trunk. This is freedom, just not the kind you might think. It's freedom from concern, and to me, that's worth a lot. Now, while we're on the topic of beaters, let me share my little secret with you. My go-to choices are the Toyota Tacoma or an old Porsche Cayenne. You can get these things for around $30K, and they run forever. They balance that toughness out with just a little hint of luxury. They're perfect for those of you who want a reliable workhorse that can handle anything from highway miles to rough terrain and Chicago potholes without a fuss. And before you start to say I'm out of touch, my first beater was definitely not $30,000. I'm pretty sure it was $1,200. It was a Ford Explorer Eddie Bauer edition with a hole in the door. Now, perhaps moving somewhere to the middle of the spectrum, we have the race car. Like a real race car with a roll cage and slicks. As you can imagine, this isn't about getting from point A to point B. This machine is about understanding and appreciating what driving really means. The raw feedback from steering, the grip, the acceleration, and the heart-pounding thrill of nailing the perfect lap. If you haven't driven a race car, I urge you, however you do it, legally, get in a race car. A race car strips away all of the luxuries and comfort to deliver a pure, unfiltered driving experience. It's here on the track that you will learn the limits of what cars can really do, and more importantly, what you, the driver, can actually handle. It's not just fun, it's a lesson in physics, mechanics, and your own courage. As for the race car dilemma, the clear winner is the spec Mazda Miata. Priced at around $20,000, it is a steal. And it's not just any race car, it's the gateway to the racetrack without exorbitant costs. Running it all year round could cost you under $3,000, and that's less than some people spend on Starbucks annually. As you can imagine, this car isn't about flash. It's about momentum, understanding the limits of your focus, and the sheer joy of racing. It teaches you, it humbles you, and most importantly, it is a lot of fun. And I might add that I've learned a lot from this Miata. It's been one of my greatest teachers. As it turns out, willingly facing death on a weekly basis in a roll cage makes a difficult meeting kind of seem like cotton candy. Okay, the part of the video you've been waiting for. I don't know about you, but I spent my entire childhood dreaming about the day I'd finally get a chance to buy a cool car. I had a Porsche 911 on my dresser as a kid and a Testarossa poster behind my bed on the wall. Just looking at these things feels good. Gorgeous design, sleek, incredible engineering marvel. They're designed to turn heads and probably evoke envy. They're usually built with more carbon than a box of Dixon Ticonderogas. But here's the twist. A supercar is barely a car. Yes, it has wheels, and yes, it's fast, and yes, it's incredibly fun to drive, but you won't be racing it. And it's a nightmare to park at Target. I've come to realize that the supercar only exists to make a statement, a financial statement. It speaks to status, and It speaks to you achieving your financial dreams. But once you've experienced the raw excitement of the race car and the unpretentious usefulness of the beater, the supercar starts to feel a bit, I don't know, silly. But you still gotta pick one anyway, right? So what do I choose? To me, a Porsche isn't really a supercar. They're too perfect and hardy. Even my GT3 RS could drive in the snow. I don't recommend it. Otherwise, I'd have to go with the Germans on this one. They built some great cars. Now, for purebred supercars, it's gonna be a tie between Ferrari and McLaren. Now, used McLarens give you a ton of bang for your buck because some other poor schlock ate $100,000 of depreciation, so you don't have to. This offers the latest in innovation at a way better price point, or as we say, a lot of car for the dollars. But then there's the Ferrari. The name itself conjures up a world of luxury, speed, and an unmatched pedigree, and probably the childhood poster on my wall. There's just something about the emotion and the allure of a Ferrari that's undeniable. And even though I've paid more for my Porsche, most people don't know why there's a big wing on the back of a 911. And the Ferrari just turns more heads. So wait, why would you aspire to own all three? That's because each car teaches you a very different lesson. The beater with its rugged charm reminds you of the importance of utility and resilience. It reminds you of why you got a car in the first place. Freedom to move, freedom from concern. The race car with its intense feedback teaches you the art of driving, like really driving. It shows you where your limits are, and it shows you that it's disastrous if you push these too far. Driving a race car makes you a safer driver. For those that keep it racing, and trust me, there are more entrepreneurs on the racetrack than you will believe, you will learn a new degree of focus. This focus on the racetrack translates to the boardroom, the trading floor, the court, the hackathon, or whatever else it is that you do between Monday and Friday. So what about the supercar? The supercar is the dream that pushed you, perhaps, if you're like me, your entire life. Sometimes I wonder if I've worked hard all these years just to achieve this dream. Of course, the beauty of getting the car of your dreams means that you've raised the quality of your life and probably those around you in a positive and impactful way so that you could afford these silly things. But ultimately, whenever your special day comes and they throw you the keys and you start to drive it off the lot, you will very quickly appreciate what you already have. Because nothing makes you appreciate your beater or wish you were back in your race car like a fancy supercar. But if you don't have one yet, I'm not going to stop you because, well, you've got to learn this stuff for yourself, not just by watching a YouTube video. But here's my fair warning. The only time that you realize you never really needed a supercar in the first place is right after you bought one. So thanks for tuning in. Make sure you check out our sponsor at getrevised.com and like, comment, subscribe, all the buttons for more insights on wealth and whatever else I feel like. Drive safe, and I'll see you soon.